Hi, I'm Gord. I've had many different jobs at Vekova, and I'm currently a team leader in Wayfinder. I will be taking you through the Alex Bailey wing, which is where I started. Alex Bailey was the first chairman of the board of directors, and this wing was named after him. It was opened in June of 1976, the year before I started. This wing was an exciting expansion for Vekova, as it provided additional space to house several specialized training units. The mission room was called the Pre-Vocational Training Unit. This was the area I first worked in. It had a higher staff consumer ratio. It was designed to provide additional supports to consumers who, for a variety of reasons, weren't ready to work in the shops. We worked on basic concepts, pre-number skills, fine and gross motor skills, functional academics, social sight reading, social skills, community awareness, traffic safety, bus training, daily living skills, including personal hygiene, and basic vocational skills. We made good use of the gym and the pool. Eventually, all consumers were integrated into a shop setting. The Vision Room was called Social Education. This program started in 1972. I also worked here for many years. We offered educational instruction in many areas, including letter and number recognition, math, time telling, reading, including social sight reading, printing, writing, filling out forms and slips, money handling, budgeting, banking, shopping, and consumer education. We also offered a continuum of social skills groups ranging from basic interactions through to sexuality. We performed a variety of social academic assessments, including the Social Education AFI. Aside from traditional teaching methods, social education embraced computer-assisted instruction. In the early 80s, we developed programs that ran on Apple II computers. These functional academic programs utilized speech and a touchscreen interface using handmade touchscreens. These programs were very popular. They were gradually replaced over time with newer educational software running on Windows computers. For some stations, we were fortunate enough to have larger monitors, 19-inch seemed huge, retail touchscreens, and adapted keyboards. The journey from DOS to Windows 7 was exciting, with much progress and innovation made. We went from no internet to dial-up, then eventually to high-speed internet, which was a game changer. Computer skills such as use of a mouse, keyboarding, email, and accessing the internet became more and more relevant over time. Social education, which eventually became education services, moved to the rehab room, or the fishbowl as some knew it, in 2008. Current events groups, educational games, specialized software, and creative use of the computer added to the services offered. Education services was phased out in 2012. Consumers were encouraged to pursue their educational training in the community at locations such as Mount Royal University or Bow Valley College. The area became a computer lab in 2012, closing in early 2015. The Values Room was PMTU, or the Perceptual Motor Training Unit. This was a specialized unit for consumers with significant physical challenges, primarily individuals with cerebral palsy. PMTU offered a variety of programming from fine and gross motor skills, range of motion, social skills, functional academics, community awareness, and community access. This program also made good use of the pool and the gym. Mobility and seating were very important. Wheelchairs, walkers, and scooters have come a long way since then. Augmentative communication was also an area of specialization. They focused on bliss symbolics, word boards, and the use of electronic communication devices. Improving accessibility was a priority, and accessing the community could be a challenge. Keep in mind, the world has changed significantly, as ramps, automatic doors, and accessible washrooms are now part of almost every new public building. They weren't in the 70s. Adjustable tables, placement of light switches, wider doors, cut curbs, and so much more have made the world so much more accessible. Staff utilize their expertise to adapt tasks, routines, and environments to allow for greater consumer access, participation, and success. Through these adaptations and modifications, some consumers did well transitioning into a shop environment. I remember one consumer who became an excellent weaver, operating a loom with only her feet. In the early 80s, PMTU was renamed MHRU, or the Multi-Handicap Resource Unit. This area transitioned into a resource team, which in time was phased out. The last area in the Bailey Wing to mention is the observation deck, located above what is now Mission, Vision, and Values. This area was used for several years for tours as academics, researchers, future service providers, including international visitors, would come to observe and learn firsthand about the work we were doing in our specialized units. So in the 70s and 80s, the Bailey Wing was a hotbed of creativity and innovation with these specialized units. I feel very fortunate to have spent much of my time at Vekova in the Alex Bailey Wing. Currently, Mission is a drop-down area primarily utilized by employment services. Vision is a program room used by AHF social and community programs, and Values is a drop-down space for Wayfinder and housing services.